Now for a quick disclaimer. Nothing you see or hear on the flight deck is investment advice. Nothing said today is intended as investment advice. Those participating in today's discussion may have bought, held and/or sold the stocks discussed today prior to today's discussion and/or may do so afterwards. Remember, you are responsible for your own investment decisions, and if in doubt, you should seek advice from an independent financial advisor. Stocks can be high risk, and you may lose the entire amount you have invested. Please now sit back and enjoy the flight.
Hello, and welcome to the flight deck. Today is Wednesday, the 1st of April, 2026, and we are delighted to welcome back Farshad Shirvani, the CEO and president of Doubleview Gold. And also joining from our flight deck crew is Sporazene. How are you, mate?
Very good flight, good.
And you, Farshad, how are you?
Since the PEA, life has changed and, things are different. Thank you. And how about you guys?
Yeah, we're well, thanks. So just before we jump into this update, if you value what we bring to you, I'd really be grateful if you could like and subscribe to the Flight Deck channel. It does help us do what we do. Hit pause and then hit that subscribe and like button. Thank you so much. It would really help us get the Flight Deck out to more people. With all that said, Farshad, it's so good to have you back. Thanks so much for joining again.
Thank you very, very much for having me here.
Farshad, it doesn't seem like it was 8 weeks ago that we last spoke to you. An awful lot has happened for Doubleview on the HAT project, and can I take you back to the sort of first milestone in the last 8 weeks, which was the updated MRE, and I think that really brought the attention of the market to the HAT project. Some spectacular increase in the total resources. I think you went up, measured, indicated from 100 million tons roughly to over 600 million, 500 million tons of inferred, and obviously the contained copper equivalent there, over 10 billion pounds of copper equivalent in that MRE. And then shortly afterwards, we had the PEA, and if the MRE update didn't get the market's attention, I think the PEA did. Your team worked tremendously hard over a number of years to really get to those milestones, and just give us your perspective on that if you can.
Yes, since the NPV was announced, lives changed, and I didn't know how much it will change. And it's beyond belief. All of a sudden, the whole world is phoning me, literally from everywhere, from Australia, from England, from New York, from Arab countries, from Saudi Arabia, from Qatar. A flood of people, like it is just surreal. I thought it's going to be quiet because of the war in Middle East, but I had every day, including last night at 2 o'clock, calling from Saudi Arabia, calling from Qatar. They try to keep the communication going because we are talking. I rather put it this way at this time. Here, lots of investment bankers, perhaps the largest investment bank in the world has phoned us. They've been to our office. It's been crazy. And it showed me that what we own is very large. It's very large, impressive, and they love it. And they are trying to supersede each other in gaining our attention. And at the same time, we want to be cautious who we deal with because there's only one deal in the future and we don't know who that deal is, and that's what we've done. We made this deposit, we found this deposit, we wrapped it. The first wrap is here, and there are other steps that we have to plan ahead right now. At the same time, who knows? Maybe someone else takes over and comes in and they want to make it bigger and then take over. There are opportunities in front of us right now with this deposit and several scenarios. And it's hard to say no to money. I have received many calls for 50, $90 million financing, even $100 million financing. And hard to say no, but once you say yes to one of them, then your life is changing, the company's life changing to that direction that you got the money and follow the lead in that direction. That's why It's taken a lot of my time and good, it's beautiful time for Doubleview. We never had a situation like this. We are benefiting from it. That's why I'm very excited, unbelievably excited. And especially for this one that I'm going to tell you, which is remarkable. We were invited to the British Columbia's office, Ministry of Mining and Critical Minerals office to meet with strategic priorities branch. And I didn't know who I'm meeting until I arrived there. We sat down and I found out at the table there are strategic and indigenous partnership division there too. And these are the people that I have met in the past. Now they were different right now, extremely positive, and they helped us to go and submit the project to major uh, projects of Canada to federal government office, and I did, and they're going to introduce us to critical minerals office. Again, we have to go back to Victoria to meet with them. Significant part of it is that I have not ever seen our government helping a company, especially like us, to help us to grow and go to the higher steps as we are moving forward. It's significant, and I cannot emphasize on that. And I'm very, excited to go back again. And just imagine it was 7 days ago. We have been so busy, so busy. In fact, after this video, I'm going to send appreciation email to them. I didn't have time to appreciate them. Thank you letters. It was a great meeting. And that tells you like what stage we are right now, what situation we are. I think this company has not seen yet the market coming to it. The company's level has changed, although you don't see it in the stock. And it'll catch up. We had the NPV for the first time. I had to revisit the company as a fresh new entity. I understand we have a fresh slate that I start to carve it again and paint it in a new direction as we move forward. And it has to happen fast. It has to be cautiously done because we are in a growth level that we literally can be, if we stay with the company, a year and a half, we would be a major miner company in a very short period of time.
Farshad, sorry to jump in. So do you mean in this growth period, if you were to complete another year of infill drilling?
I tell you what's going to happen in our plans. So you touched our next level of work. So we have designed it. We have it. We are going to sign the agreements. We're going to announce it for pre-feasibility study, but I'm still negotiating with them to jump to feasibility study, straight to feasibility study, to FS directly. And why do I do that? Because this is the largest cobalt deposit in Canada. This is 69% of the cobalt of North America for the next 25 years at least. There's going to be follow-up with this amount of deposit that we have at this time. And this is the largest scandium deposit that is low temperature, low pressure, and all the beautiful things are listed. The world needs copper. It has to move faster because British Columbia needed so bad. British Columbia needs a project like this, and there's no other project like this.
Yeah. The tax take alone must be in the multi-billions. Yeah.
In the NPV, it's there, $19.5 billion taxes over 25 years. It's a lot of money for our province. It's a lot of money. Now, what we have done, we got the pre-fees contract in front of us. I asked for feasibility study to join them both together because PEA level is at the level of, maybe half the PFS is in it or even further. That's why I want to go right to feasibility study. In that realm, we had to go and hire more people. Right now, I hired headhunters to bring in people for permitting, people for lots of disciplines. we're changing the company's face, arena, everything. It has to be repainted. If I am going to stay here, I cannot run it like this that we used to be. My secretary was my wife. Okay. It doesn't work like that.
Yes, of course.
And the reason it was my wife because we needed to save money. Now we cannot, play it like that. We're getting bigger and we have to go bigger.
And so all that is running along the path towards development. But obviously, our last interview, you said we've reached the PEA, we've wrapped it up in a bow. The resource is going to grow. That's just the value add of infill drilling. Move to the definitive feasibility study. But at some point, if somebody comes in with a valid bid to put to shareholders, that's where we're at.
Shareholder appreciation and the blue sky has to be there. Someone just a few days ago asked me and goes, Farshad, why don't you go all the way, take it to production? I said, if the price is right, I sell it. I made a joke. I said, you come to my house, everything is up for sale, excluding my wife and including adopting my kids. If you want them, the price is right, I give them away. And he laughed. I said, yes, when the price is right, do the deal. Okay, we're deal makers. We do the deal if the price is right. Shareholders have been with me, some of them about 10, 15 years. Okay, they've been with me for that long time because they trusted me that I take care of them with the best of my abilities. At least I put all my efforts into it to make sure they have the best in the future as far as the financial return is going to them. And that's what I have done, and we have to do it.
Farshad, you mentioned the engagement that you're having with the British Columbia regional government, and they're helping to connect you to the federal government initiatives. Is that for permitting type support? Is it for funding support? Is it both? Can you just give us a bit of a flavor of the type of support that you might get from either the regional or the federal government?
It is a priority it shows to me that this project is of super priority for our province right now. It has changed the vision on this project altogether. And it has shown me that they are basically want to hold my hand and help me and open the doors for us as we move forward. Of course, we have to do our own work and etc. This is extremely positive move from British Columbia government. It's sort of like unheard of, you know, in my career from ourselves and for Doubleview, which is the most beautiful thing happened to us. That's how important it is. But I tell you, this is extremely exciting step in our development. Plus, our things happening. I have a meeting today with the largest M&A company in the world stage. Coincidentally, one of the largest shareholders of this company is from Saudi Arabia, and they phoned me as well, which I was talking to them last night. They have nothing to do with each other separately. And today I have another M&A they're phoning me. And there's a third person from one of the M&As. We had the meeting. He's trying to have a meeting with me to basically see if I can work with them. I believe when something like that happens, I think I have sixth sense that there's a shark in the water and someone wants to gobble this. That's what is happening. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had that opportunity to have lots of these people keep phoning me and coming to me and etc. And let's see. Rather than feeling that we are important, we have to pay attention. We have to be humble and make sure that we get the best deal for our shareholders. That's my attitude.
So it sounds like that you've got an incredibly busy 3 to 6 months ahead of you, Farshad, with engaging with the regional government, engaging potentially with the federal government, working on PFS, potentially even DFS, and all of the supporting work that needs to go into those two milestones, but also managing potential partnerships, as you've described as well. So It doesn't sound like there's going to be any slowing down.
Yes, if you pay attention in the past few days after the MPV, the person who suffered the most was Blight. He was trying to get a hold of me. He couldn't. I was busy. I apologize. It took me like 3 days to return his text. Here we go. And it's so important to me to talk to him. You can tell how busy we were. And there are things happening. I believe right now, United States has the largest plan for 6G that is coming. I forgot what the number is, but I believe NVIDIA spoke about it. They're talking about $400 billion investment into that. And the most important ingredient to the 6G is scandium. That's very important. And if you listen to Robert Friedland, his stock went through the roof for scandium. We were just coincident with the news from other things, noise from other things. That's why it didn't resonate. I expect it to resonate soon, and with more outreach, I believe at some point we're going to get the recognition the same as other companies. And our deposit is much larger, much better for recovery, and we can produce the whole need they need for the 6G for the next 50 years. Scandium doesn't, I have not seen the limit for it yet.
That's great. So Farshad, it just sounds extremely positive. Congratulations on what you've achieved with this discovery and now moving towards development and production. Any final thoughts?
Yes, I have touched dangerously on a lot of things that is coming, but I believe soon we're going to see the news release about 2 or 3 items that I mentioned here, and that's going to change the history of this company. And we're talking about, I hope, very fast and soon coming in.
Amazing. Amazing. And also your future as a geologist and finding these amazing resources, you're interested in another project called Cassa Minerals?
Yes. The thing is, work and being a geologist is a disease. It's not a job. I got that disease, and that disease never let me sitting down. And I have to have flow of projects coming in. That's why I have prepared myself. Believe it or not, this few projects, as you see, the hat and arsenal of Cassa, Congress Gold of Cassa, personally, I invested in them way back when. So I have this funnel of my own projects. And now Cassa has 2 projects that I love them the most. Like, after this hat project, one of them is in northern BC, Arsenal, which has what I call it the best signature that I found the hat project. And that project surprised me, honestly surprised me. I thought that's a VMS. I thought that's about 300 by 200 meter signature, and I may have 2 or 3 of them. And big blebs of VMS. We did the 3D IP last year, and gosh, it came exact signature of the same tag, coincident of the IP with low resistivity, right at that location with the same size. So my geologist explained that this is another porphyry signature, which we love it. And we have also a gold project with high grade gold in Arizona, and that's been a mine in the past. And I am going to go there and do drilling and getting that into a resource estimate, which happens very fast because it has been drilled in the past and we have lots of numbers in there.
So those 2 assets then are wrapped up in Cassa Minerals.
You got me excited. I have to explain.
We'll have to come back and have you on, and let's just do a little intro to Cassa. Thank you so much for today for the update. I'm sure everyone at Flight's Investment Server is super excited about what you've discovered, and we're delighted to support.
As we say in Canada, hey, thank you.
Thank you, Farshad.
Thank you for having me here. Okay, I appreciate it very much, guys.
You're welcome. From the Flight Deck crew here, we'll see you again soon. Cheers.
Thank you from all the crew here at the Flight Deck, and hope to see you soon over at Flight's Investment Server, sharing industry insights for the good of all.